Feel it. The wind carries echoes across the Tyrrhenian Sea, whispers from a forgotten epoch, etched in stone and starlight. This is Sardinia, Italy's enigmatic isle, a rugged jewel where granite mountains plunge into impossibly blue waters, and history does not rest in museums. It hides in plain sight. Every ridge, every cove, every weathered stone seems to remember something the world has forgotten long before Rome, before Greece cast its shadow westward, before written history took hold. Here, a civilization rose in silence, the Nuragic civilization, from roughly 1800 BCE until the Roman conquest. Bronze Age Sardinians built a world unlike any other in Europe. Across the island, more than 7,000 nuraghe still stand. Massive conical stone towers assembled without mortar, engineered with precision that continues to confound modern scholars. They rise from hilltops and valleys like sentinels of another age, defensive fortresses, astronomical markers, ritual centers, or something else entirely. Sacred wells plunge deep into the earth, channeling water believed to be divine. Aligned with lunar cycles, carved with mathematical elegance, coastal sanctuaries bind land and sea through ritual, offering bronze figurines to unseen powers. Stone villages cluster around towers in patterns that suggest social organization, trade networks, and cosmology far more complex than once believed. For millennia, these structures have stood in silence, weathered, unyielding, watching. Guardians of secrets that may link Sardinia to the great prehistoric tapestry of Europe and beyond, to Mycenaean Greece, to Iberia, to the wider Mediterranean world that pulsed with trade, belief, and myth, long before empires wrote their names in blood and marble. But today, we listen. This is a quest, guided by local archaeologists, passionate stewards of the past, shaped by wind, stone, and stubborn curiosity. We follow the whispers, from forgotten towers swallowed by brush to ritual shores where offerings once met the sea. We trace connections across time and water. Artifacts emerge, bronze warriors, ceremonial vessels, symbols that challenge everything we thought we knew. And as our journey reaches its height, we step into the living present, joining a festival beneath star-filled skies, where ancient rhythms echo through music, firelight, and dance, where rites older than Rome breathe again, not as reenactment, but as inheritance. This is not a story frozen in the past. It is continuity, memory made stone. This is Sardinia's ancient whispers, an odyssey of stone, spirit, and revelation. The island calls. Let the quest begin. Our quest dawns in the heart of Sardinia, where time seems to fold inward. This is the land where the Nuragic civilization flourished for more than a millennium. Emerging around 1800 BCE, these indigenous islanders rose during Europe's Bronze Age, not as a peripheral culture, but as a regional force. They were master builders, skilled metallurgists, navigators of trade, belief, and landscape. They left no written language behind, no chronicles, no kings' lists, no declarations of conquest. Their history survives in stone. From scattered villages, Nuragic society evolved into a complex and stratified world. Archaeology reveals hierarchy, elites, warriors, craftspeople, and ritual specialists, bound together by shared cosmology and fortified by engineering prowess. Bronze tools, weapons, and figurines crafted on Sardinia have been found far beyond its shores, traded across the Mediterranean in networks that linked the island to Iberia, North Africa, and the Aegean. They absorbed influence from Minoan Crete and Mycenaean Greece, pottery styles, maritime motifs, metallurgical techniques, but they never became copies. The Nuragic identity remained unmistakably Sardinian, insular, innovative, defiant. And then, they built the towers. More than 7,000 nuraghe rise across the island, megalithic structures reaching up to 20 meters in height, assembled without mortar from immense basalt and limestone blocks. Some stand alone on ridgelines. Others form sprawling complexes surrounded by walls, courtyards, wells, and entire villages. Each stone was quarried, transported, lifted, placed, with no wheels, no iron tools, no written plans. Their precision rivals the great monuments of the ancient world. Their endurance rivals anything built since. But their purpose remains elusive. Were they fortresses, guarding territory and trade routes? Temples, where rituals bound people to gods and stars? Astronomical observatories aligned to solstices and lunar cycles? Or symbols of power, monuments declaring identity in a contested Bronze Age world? The debate continues, and the silence of the stones refuses easy answers. To guide us through this mystery, we turn to those who have devoted their lives to listening. Meet Dr. Mauro Pera, a Sardinian archaeologist whose boots have worn down the paths between Nuragic for decades. His excavations have uncovered settlement layers, ritual objects, and architectural sequences that challenge older assumptions. To him, these towers are not isolated relics, but nodes in a living system. "These stones are our ancestors' voices," Mauro says, running his hand across weathered basalt. "They speak, but only if we learn how to listen." Beside him is Elena Zeda, a young researcher specializing in prehistoric trade and material analysis. Where Mauro reads the land, Elena reads objects, trace elements in bronze, isotopes in stone, patterns in distribution. Her work maps invisible connections, proving that Nuragic Sardinia was not remote, but deeply entangled with the wider ancient world. Together, they lead us forward, into collapsed towers reclaimed by moss, into sacred wells where water still mirrors the sky, into questions that have lingered for 3,000 years. This is not a search for simple answers. It is a pursuit of understanding, of connection, of echoes that refuse to fade. Sardinia does not shout its history, it whispers. And now, at last, we are close enough to hear it. First leg, Su Nuraxi di Barumini, the crown jewel. As dawn breaks over southern Sardinia's Marmilla region, the basalt plateau ignites with amber light. Before us rises Su Nuraxi, Europe's most complete and imposing nuragic complex, recognized by UNESCO in 1997 not for its beauty alone, but for what it reveals about a lost world. At its heart stands the central tower, 18 meters high, built around 1500 BCE, a massive stone bastion surrounded by 4 subsidiary lobes, interlocked like the petals of a stone flower. Dr. Mauro Pera gestures upward as the light gilds the upper parapets. "This was not a refuge for peasants," he explains. "This was the seat of power." Inside, corridors twist and tighten, spiraling inward like a labyrinth. Light vanishes, sound softens. The architecture itself controls movement, defensive, deliberate, psychological. This tower housed elites, leaders, ritual authorities. Around it stretches an entire village, more than 50 stone huts, wells sunk deep into bedrock, and circular meeting halls where clans gathered. Elena Zeta kneels beside the low foundations, tracing the outline of domestic life. "Imagine feasts here," she says. "Communal fires, bronze flowing in forges, decisions shaping territory and trade." Excavations have revealed pottery shards imported from Crete, clear evidence that Nuragic Sardinia was not isolated, but maritime. Ships crossed the Tyrrhenian long before classical navies ever sailed it. We ascend the tower's spiral staircase, each step worn smooth by ancient feet. At the summit, the land opens wide, olive groves, fertile plains, distant hills. This was not just a monument, it was control. control of agriculture, of trade routes, of people. From here, power radiated outward. And yet this is only the beginning. We push north, deeper into the island's interior, where legend thickens around stone. Nuraghe Santu Antine, near Torralba, known locally as the Palace of the King. Rising from the plain like a stone leviathan, this trilobate giant dates to around 1600 BCE. 3 towers interlock through vaulted corridors, their walls towering above us, the central keep reaching 17 meters skyward. Inside, darkness reigns. Mauro's flashlight cuts through the chambers as he speaks. These were power centers, he says. Political, military, sacred. Excavations here have yielded bronze votive offerings, warriors with shields, mothers holding children, animals frozen in ritual posture. Not tools, not weapons, gifts, offered to gods whose names we no longer know. Elena expands the story with science that bridges millennia. Recent isotope analyses trace the origins of these bronzes: copper sourced from Cyprus, tin from Iberia, metals traveling thousands of kilometers before being cast into sacred forms. This proves it, she says. Nuragic Sardinia was plugged into vast prehistoric networks, economic, cultural, ideological. And then, the most tantalizing connection. Egyptian records speak of the Shurden, one of the enigmatic sea peoples who clashed with pharaohs during the late Bronze Age. They are depicted wearing horned helmets, helmets that mirror those worn by Nuragic bronze warriors. Coincidence or echo? As we descend into a hidden well beneath the tower, the air cools. Water glimmers faintly at the bottom, gathered in carved basins. For the Nuragic people, water was sacred, a source of life, a conduit between worlds, a symbol of renewal. Here, stone and water converge. Power and belief intertwine. The towers are not mute. They are speaking of authority, of connection, of a civilization that stood at the crossroads of the ancient world, watching the seas, trading in bronze, and carving its identity into stone that refuses to fall. And still, the island holds more secrets. The whispers grow louder, and our quest presses on. Deeper mysteries await. Nuraghe Losa, near Abasanta. Rising from the plateau like a shadow carved from night itself, this black basalt colossus dates to around 1400 BCE. Its walls curve with unsettling precision, enclosing a massive bastion threaded with underground passages that swallow sound and light alike. Inside, the air feels deliberate, engineered. Elena pauses beneath a narrow slit in the stone. At the solstice, she notes, light cuts through here. Clean. Exact. A coincidence or intention? Mauro nods. Recent LiDAR scans have transformed what we thought we knew. Beneath the surrounding fields lie the ghost outlines of buried villages, dozens of structures invisible to the naked eye. This was no isolated tower, Mauro explains. Losa was a ceremonial hub. People came here, not to hide, but to gather, to witness cycles written in light and shadow. Just kilometers away, the land opens, then descends. The sanctuary of Santa Cristina. Built around 1200 BCE, this is one of the most breathtaking sacred wells in the ancient world. Stone steps spiral 7 meters underground, narrowing with mathematical grace until they reach a perfectly proportioned tholos chamber. At its center, water. Still, dark, reflective. When the moon reaches its zenith, its image settles on the pool's surface, perfectly framed by stone. Above, the stars align in silent symmetry. This was ritual architecture. Offerings of bronze figurines were cast into the depths, gifts to fertility deities, pleas for rain, life, renewal. Here, sky and earth converged through water, and belief was measured in precision. The Nuragic world was not chaotic, it was calibrated. The whispers then pull us west, to the coast. Tharros, on the Sinus Peninsula, a city where Nuragic foundations meet Phoenician ambition. Sea-facing tombs line the shore, their contents telling stories of maritime ritual. Shells placed with care, amulets tucked beside the dead, prayers for safe passage beyond both horizon and life. The sea was not a boundary, it was a bridge. North again, granite rises from the earth at Koduvekyu, a giant's tomb. Dating to around 1600 BCE, massive stone stelae guard a collective burial chamber where generations rested together. Mauro explains softly, death here was communal. Ancestors remained present. Bones were not abandoned. They were rearranged, re-engaged. Rituals bound the living to the dead in cycles of memory and renewal. And this architecture is not unique. Elena traces parallels. Malta, Iberia, even Britain, similar megalithic forms, shared techniques, shared cosmologies. The sea carried more than goods, she says. It carried ideas. At Nuraghe Palmavera near Alghero, the evidence becomes undeniable. This coastal complex includes meeting huts arranged for assembly, decision-making in stone. Excavations reveal amber beads traced to the Baltic, Northern Europe, southern Sardinia, connected. Farther inland, at Sutempiesu near Orune, a holy spring emerges beneath a stone facade shaped like a nuraghe itself. Water flows outward, purifying, symbolic. Imagine it. Moonlit gatherings, chants carried on salt air, waves crashing in rhythm with voices calling to sea gods older than memory. This was not superstition. It was system. A world bound by stone, water, sky, and movement. The Nuragic civilization was not isolated, not primitive, not silent. It was speaking across continents. And as the patterns align, one truth becomes unavoidable. Sardinia was not on the edge of the ancient world. It stood at its center. The island still listens, and so do we. Further east, the landscape tightens around power. Nuraghe la Prigiona in Arzachena, a fortress of 7 towers encircling a village of nearly 100 huts, each one a life, a family, a role within a larger system. This was not chaos, it was governance. Mauro's team moves through the foundations, where hearths once burned and councils once gathered. From the soil emerge fragments of Mycenaean pottery, foreign clay, unmistakable in form and fabric. Proof of contact. Not just contact, Elena insists. Integration. She gestures toward the hills, toward the sea beyond. Sardinia wasn't peripheral, it was a hinge, bridging east and west, Aegean and Atlantic. Here, Bronze Age trade routes converged. Ideas flowed with goods. Stories traveled with sailors. Heroes may never have set foot here, but their world did. Southward, the stone changes color. Nuraghe Arubiu near Oroli, the red nuraghe. Built from pink trachyte, its massive 5-lobed structure encircles a central tower that once soared 16 meters high. Even in ruin, it dominates the plain. This was a statement, a declaration of authority visible for kilometers. Recent excavations reveal something transformative. Iron tools, worked and worn. The transition is underway. Bronze yields to iron. The Nuragic world adapts, evolves, but with evolution comes uncertainty. And then, the whispers turn darker, because around 900 BCE, something changes. Construction slows. Villages thin. The towers fall silent. Why? Climate shifts, prolonged drought, external pressure from Phoenician expansion, internal collapse? No single answer satisfies. At the sanctuary of Santa Vittoria, near Seri, the scale overwhelms. This is no isolated shrine. It is a complex, temples, altars, ritual roads, capable of hosting thousands. Mauro stands at its center. Federations gathered here, he says quietly. Multiple communities, perhaps for festivals, perhaps for diplomacy, perhaps for peace, or for survival. Elena draws attention to the bronzetti, more than 500 miniature bronze figures recovered from sacred contexts across the island. Archers, warriors, shamans, boats with raised prows, each one a frozen narrative. These aren't decorations, she explains. They're symbolic language. And that language echoes far beyond Sardinia, mirroring motifs found in European megalithic art from Iberia to the Atlantic fringe. Then comes the forbidden question. Atlantis. Plato wrote of a powerful island civilization, advanced, wealthy, and lost to time. Scholars dismiss the comparison, yet the parallels linger. Stone architecture, maritime dominance, sudden decline. Coincidence? Or memory distorted by myth? The island offers no answer, only more silence. LiDAR surveys now reveal what forests have hidden, undiscovered nuraghe still buried, waiting. Offshore, sonar scans hint at submerged structures, possible ports claimed by rising seas, lost harbors, drowned histories. The story is unfinished, and perhaps it always will be. But the whispers remain, etched in stone, echoed in water, carried on wind that has never stopped speaking. Sardinia is not done with us yet. The island remembers, and it is still calling. As twilight settles over northern Sardinia, our quest finds its final gathering point. Sassari. Each May, the city becomes a living archive during the Cavalcata Sarda, a festival first held in 1899, not to recreate history, but to carry it forward. Under Mediterranean skies dusted with stars, the streets pulse with movement. Thousands parade in traditional dress, embroidered skirts heavy with symbolism, silver filigree catching firelight, and horned helmets recalling a Bronze Age silhouette etched into collective memory. Hooves thunder on stone. Horses surge through the avenues like echoes from another time. Folk groups from every corner of the island form ritual circles, performing mutos and ancient dances whose steps predate written language. The rhythm is communal, repetitive, grounding. This is not spectacle. It is continuity. Mauro and Elena stand among the crowd, raising glasses of deep red Canana wine as bonfires flare against the night. Here, Mauro reflects, the past isn't studied, it's lived. These moments, the Nuragic world does not feel distant. It breathes, through music, through fabric, through the shared pulse of thousands moving as one. And the bridge does not end here. In autumn, the mountain heartlands of Barbegia open their doors during Cortes Apertas. Ancient stone homes welcome strangers. Fires burn in courtyards. Elders tell stories passed mouth to ear for generations of towers, wells, ancestors, and the old agreements between people and land. The whispers endure, not trapped in ruins, not locked behind glass, but alive, spoken, danced, remembered. As night deepens, Sardinia grows quiet again. The towers stand where they have always stood. The wells hold their reflections. The stones wait. They link us to prehistoric kin who watched the same stars, trusted the same seas, and carved meaning into rock with hands not unlike our own. The quest does not end here. It extends to those who walk these landscapes, who listen without haste, who feel the weight of time beneath their feet. Climb the towers, follow the water, dance beneath the stars, The ancient still calls. Thank you for joining this Sardinian sojourn. If these whispers matter, carry them forward. Subscribe for more journeys into the deep past. And until the next calling, let history guide you.